So I was feeling particularly vulnerable one late night, probably a couple weeks ago. And despite not having a huge interest in racing or driving games, I woke up the next day and went and spent 400 big ones on a racing wheel and pedals, which, if you can believe, is an entry-level set. But, oh boy, I feel like I've already got my money's worth. BeamNG is unlike any other racing or driving game I've played. Right now, it's basically just a sandbox where you see what would happen if you swerved your car into an oncoming semi. Uh, nothing, nothing good.
Oh daddy, give me that gameplay.
At its core, BeamNG is a sandbox simulation, as I mentioned before, so its gameplay is about as diverse or as boring as you make it. The devs describe their game as a dynamic soft-body physics vehicle simulator capable of doing just about anything. A bold statement, for sure. Now, I don't know about being able to do just about anything, but that's coming from a smooth brain like me, so who knows. The handling of all the vehicles is insanely realistic. For a while, I was actually instinctively trying to shoulder check and looking away from my monitor. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I was genuinely that immersed. I'm quite shocked. If only this game had VR support. Good God. If I could spin out and also throw up all over myself, we'd achieve maximum immersion.
I'm about to throw up.
Oh, you bet to hell not. That is hand-stitched leather. You better drink it.
The damage model is second to none. If you crash into a barrier at 100 kilometers per hour, your car will in fact look more crumpled up than the first dozen attempts of mine to write this script. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I am not an expert on cars. Far, far, far from it. But all you need to do to appreciate the damage model is see it in action. I'm so used to racing games just bouncing you off of barriers and letting you carry on like it's nothing. Meanwhile, in BeamNG, you hit a curb too fast and you'll blow out your wheel or destroy a wheel strut. Hell, if you have something so much as a minor accident with another vehicle, your bumper might get wedged under your wheel and pin it in place or tear off completely. Or worse yet, maybe you'll damage your radiator, causing your engine to overheat and potentially catch fire. All the vehicles have realistic crumple zones, too. I'm not kidding when I say you could put footage from this game side by side a real car accident and it would look almost identical. Outside of one clearly being a video game, of course. It's genuinely hard for me to do it justice. It's by far the best damage model I've ever experienced in a game, period. This is the new bar. Wait a minute. This game's been in early access since 2015. How has no one tried to outdo? The damage model being so realistic makes racing or police chases or whatever you're doing so much more engaging. When one little fuck-up is all it takes to render your vehicle completely inoperable, you have to perform. So of course that means there's potentially a limitless skill ceiling here. Whether you're a professional stunt driver in real life or just a dumbass like me, there's something here for everybody, even if you're not a car enthusiast. If racing and police chases aren't your thing, I think something's wrong with you. But there is an entire sandbox to play with. Want to see what happens if you try to launch a van into space? That! If you get bored of the base game, there are thousands of mods available, and easily accessible too. There's an in-game repository where you can literally just click something and boom, downloaded, done. Things like extra maps, different vehicles, or even multiplayer, though that actually requires a third-party tool. God, I didn't even mention how BeamNG and automation are actually compatible. If you're a really big car nut and know how to design cars, the game automation can be used to design and export vehicles directly in to BeamNG. That's insane, man. I'm even tempted to pick it up, and I don't know the first fucking thing about cars. I just want to try Frankensteining something together and seeing if it would actually, drive, or how spectacularly it would fall apart.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the car designed for the average man, the Homer.
It's so cool that the devs of both these companies are willing to cooperate in a way that genuinely benefits both their player bases. And it's so rare in this industry. Like, can we just appreciate that?
Vroom vroom, I'm a race car.
Whether it's the revving of engines or a high-speed collision, the sound is generally pretty excellent. Every vehicle sounds distinct from one another, and the sounds cars make when they buckle or roll violently is great. Music is notably absent from this game, but that's fine in my book. Like, just throw on some of your own tunes and rip around. I personally find that super relaxing, and honestly, after a long day of work, doing that just to decompress, it's a lot of fun. And, you know, due to current world events, I don't drive around much in real life, so being able to rip around like a maniac, it's pretty solid.
Someone make it stop already.
If you hadn't guessed already, I think BeamNG is fucking great. I'm sure there's loads of stuff I didn't even touch on, but still I felt compelled to put this video together. I do highly recommend, though, that if it's within your budget, maybe go look into a racing wheel and pedals. Like, for me, it really made the difference. Beforehand, I was playing with an Xbox controller for the first couple hours, and man, having a real wheel with force feedback made a huge difference in my opinion of the game. So that is worth noting. If you're looking for a good entry-level wheel, I'll have links to the one I bought in the description. Hopefully it won't break the bank. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it was about 400 bucks Canadian. So if you live somewhere that has money more valuable than mine, good. You could probably get it for cheaper. Anyway, if you hadn't guessed, I'm just fucking stalling now. Thank you very much for watching as always. I really do appreciate it if you made it to the end. And do take care.
I can temper tantrum, yeah.